Hello everyone, welcome back to Sydney and Starlet, and if you're new here, welcome, enjoy the videos. So today, me and Sydney are going to be reading a little golden book classic, Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse and his Spaceship. So let's begin. Listen to this, said Mickey Mouse as he read from the evening paper. Big contest! $50,000 prize for the first round trip to the moon. Oh, Mickey, cried Minnie Mouse. Think how dangerous it would be. Think how wonderful it would be, cried Mickey. I hope Donald Duck and I get our spaceship finished in time. Mickey and Donald sped up the work on their spaceship. They were building it in an old factory at the edge of town. Be sure not to mention this to anyone, Donald, Mickey said in a serious tone. There will be plenty of people trying to get that prize. Donald promised, but he ran into Goofy the very next day. Coming to my birthday party next week? Asked Goofy. I don't know, said Donald smugly. I might be on my way to the moon then. Donald didn't notice the tough-looking fellow nearby. Peg-Leg Pete had heard everything. He slyly followed Donald to the factory and saw the spaceship Donald and Mickey were working on. Mickey and Donald worked day and night, checking their instruments and launching gear, and finally laying in supplies. At last, everything was in order. Tomorrow is the big day, said Mickey. We'll need a good night's sleep. So they locked the doors and went home. As soon as they were out of sight, Peg-Leg Pete went to work. In a moment, he had broken the lock and opened the doors. After another few moments, he was pushing the precious spaceship out into the night, where a big truck waited. In the morning, when Minnie and Daisy Duck drove the boys out for their secret takeoff, the spaceship was gone. Mickey and Donald were angry. Look at these prints, shouted Donald. One shoe print and one hole. It's Peg-Leg Pete. He'd better not take off, said Mickey. He doesn't know our secret invention for reversing the rockets to get back. And our spacesuits will be too small for him when he gets to the moon. It would serve him right, said Donald. No, we've got to stop him and save our ship, said Mickey firmly. So away they sped in the car, following the path of the truck up the twisting mountain road. When they came to a stop on the hidden flying field, the spaceship was standing, posed for flight. Peg-Leg Pete was nowhere to be seen. Let's get in and start it up, cried Donald. He and Mickey quickly climbed aboard. Get out of here before Peg-Leg comes back, Donald shouted to Daisy and Minnie as they bolted the doors behind them. Minnie and Daisy drove to a nearby field. There, they watched as the spaceship roared into the sky, spitting dust in a swirling cloud. Still no sign of Peg-Leg, Minnie said. You don't suppose, cried Daisy, that he could be aboard the ship? That's just where he was. After Mickey and Donald had bolted the doors, Mickey sat down at the controls and twirled a dial to take off. Then Donald pulled back on the rocket release. With an ear-splitting roar, the spaceship lurched forward, and they saw Earth dropping away. What the? Cried a loud voice. Then a face peered out of the baggage compartment. It was Peg-Leg Pete, waving a space gun. What are you trying to do? He roared. Turn this thing around. I've just discovered there's no spacesuit big enough for me on board. We can't reverse the rockets until we get to the moon, explained Mickey. Then, before Peg-Leg Pete could do any harm, Donald whacked him over the head. His heavy body sank to the floor. "What do we do with him now?" Donald asked. "Just tie him up," said Mickey, "and pack him in with the supplies to keep him from freezing on the moon. We'll have to give him oxygen when we land." When the cold, rocky landscape of the moon loomed up ahead, the two explorers were ready in their spacesuits. With a thump and a bump, the spaceship clanked to a stop. "We made it!" cried Mickey, shaking Donald's hand. "Now all we have to do is get back to Earth again." Mickey and Donald knew that Peg-Leg Pete might freeze in the moon's extreme cold. There wasn't a moment to lose. With a sure touch, they twisted the screws and tightened the bolts of the rocket reverse and hurried back to the ship. "Wait!" cried Donald at the last minute. With a swing of his screwdriver, he cracked off a chunk of moon rock and tossed it into the ship before scrambling back in himself. "The oxygen's getting low!" Mickey cried. "It's kept Pete going, but we'll have to get back to Earth super fast or we'll all be done for." With a roar, the rockets started them off. The moon glittered coldly behind them. Mickey bent over the directional finders, his face stern. One slip might mean the end for them all. The spaceship's motion changed. Gravity was taking hold, and through the windows they saw Earth rushing up at them again. They were safe. The home field was coming into view. What a reception awaited them when they unbolted the trusty ship's doors. What a cry went up as the heroes appeared, supporting Peg-Leg Pete's wobbly form. "How did it feel to be on the moon?" a TV announcer asked. "Fine," said Mickey, grinning broadly. "But it's better to be back home." That is the end. So, that is it for today, everyone. I really hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Pick out your favorite page. Who's your favorite character?
Your boss.
Minnie Mouse. Good choice. Bye-bye.
Your boss.
Mickey Mouse. Not Mickey. That's Minnie Mouse.